some things can be harmful to our ocean's biodiversity. One of these things are invasive marine species. So, what are they? Well, invasive species are organisms that have been introduced into an area where they aren't native and are negatively impacting the ecosystem, the economy, and/or human health. There are 3 ways in which they affect biodiversity. Invasive species can outcompete native species for resources such as food, habitat, and space. They may have traits that give them a competitive advantage, such as faster growth rates, higher reproductive rates, or novel adaptations. This competition can lead to a decline in native species populations, as they struggle to survive and reproduce in the presence of the invaders. Invasive species can modify or destroy native habitats, leading to significant changes in the ecosystem. For example, invasive seaweeds or plants can form dense mats that prevent light penetration, affecting the growth of native marine plants. Invasive burrowing species can destabilize sediment and disrupt the integrity of coastal habitats like coral reefs or seagrass beds. Invasive species can introduce new diseases or parasites into marine ecosystems, causing harm to native species. These diseases and parasites may have evolved alongside the invader in their native range, where the native species may have developed some resistance or coexistence mechanisms. However, in a new environment, native species may lack defenses against these new pathogens, leading to increased susceptibility to diseases and potential population declines. So, how do these invasive marine species even come to their new environment? Well, they are primarily spread by human activities, often unintentionally. People, and the goods we use, travel around the world very quickly, and they often carry uninvited species with them. Ships can carry aquatic organisms in their ballast water, while smaller boats may carry them on their propellers. Some plants can escape into the wild and become invasive. And some invasive species are intentionally or accidentally released pets. Now, let's look at some examples. This is lionfish. Native to the Indo-Pacific Oceanic region, lionfish are quickly spreading throughout the coasts and coral reefs of the United States. Lionfish are voracious eaters, and their venomous dorsal spines have helped to protect them so far from any natural predation in the Atlantic. Through ongoing local initiatives to remove lionfish, significant reductions in their populations can be achieved. This one is an European green crab. Originating from the European coast and northern Africa, the European green crab became an unwelcome presence for the shellfish industry. It first made its invasive debut off Cape Cod in the 1800s, potentially through seafood shipments or ballast water. These voracious invaders pose a significant threat to marine ecosystems, consuming an array of species, such as mussels and clams. To combat their impact, management strategies include chemical control, trapping, removal programs, and protective measures for vulnerable species. Don't be deceived by its beauty. This northern Pacific sea star is a perilous predator. Originating from the northern Pacific region, it has expanded its range to southern Australia, the United States, and Europe. Capable of devouring a wide range of bivalves, mollusks, crustaceans, and other echinoderms, this sea star has had significant economic implications. Efforts to control their population rely on physical removal and the use of traps, as researchers strive to find effective management solutions. Emerging from the Indian and Pacific Oceans, killer algae was initially bred for the aquarium trade due to its captivating color and resilience. Unfortunately, it escaped captivity and swiftly spread throughout the Mediterranean. The algae forms dense meadows, overpowering native algae and seagrasses, leading to severe ecological damage. Regrettably, control through grazing by native herbivores is ineffective. Researchers continue to explore strategies to manage and mitigate the impact of this invasive algae. So, what can we do to help? One way to curb the spread of invasive species is to plant native plants and remove any invasive plants in your garden. There are many good native plant alternatives to common exotic ornamental plants. Also, don't release aquarium fish and plants, live bait or other exotic animals into the wild. If you plan to own an exotic pet, do your research and plan ahead to make sure you can commit to looking after it. Furthermore, clean your boat and equipment thoroughly before moving to a different body of water. Remove any plants, animals, or debris that may be clinging to them. Finally, learn to identify invasive marine species in your local area. Stay informed about new and emerging threats. Share information with others, such as friends, family, and fellow boaters, about the importance of preventing the spread of invasive species and how to take appropriate action.